This might be one of the wildest cases we've seen in a while, because this isn't just about a shooting. This is about a rapper who allegedly took a real situation, turned it into content, watched it go viral, and now has the federal government knocking at his door. We need to talk about Allstar JR, because what started as a viral moment may have just escalated into a full-blown federal nightmare. Alright, so according to multiple local news reports out of Houston, Allstar JR, a rapper out of Michigan, is now facing federal charges connected to a shooting that took place at a restaurant in the Upper Kirby area of Houston. And from everything being reported, this was not a random incident. Authorities are saying he is directly tied to a shooting that left at least one person injured.
Both in very critical condition. So it appears from what they were doing was trying to take his chains. Now, we don't know if they knew him or what that was, but it appears possibly they knew this guy, and they were in the process of trying to rip his chains off. That went on for 30 seconds to a minute where these two guys were tussling with him, actually got him to the ground, and it appears probably got his chains from him. Right after that, another fella jumps in and several other people jump in as well, along with these other guys, and they start having a fist fight, and they're beating this guy pretty bad. They got him on the ground and beating him pretty good. Sometime during that part of the fight, our victim, who was originally looked like he was being majorly assaulted by several people and getting his chains ripped off, he presents a pistol. We don't know where he got it from, but he got it. Must have had it in his pants the whole time. But he got it out and started shooting randomly. Ends up hitting two people. Those are our two victims. Not certain if these are the same ones that were trying to rip off his necklaces or not. Again, investigation's just now starting, but investigators are going to get over here and try to figure out exactly how that occurred. We got some folks on the scene there to talk.
And this is where things get complicated, because while the legal side is playing out, the internet.
And this is where things start to get complicated, because while the legal side of this was still playing out, the internet had already been watching the entire situation unfold in real time. Now here's where it really takes a turn, because instead of laying low, instead of letting things cool down and staying out of the spotlight, Allstar JR allegedly did the exact opposite. He leaned right into it.
Hey, the best BNTN challenge, man. $20,000 BNTN challenge.
He starts trolling online. He starts referencing the situation publicly. And then comes what people began calling the BNTN challenge. Videos start circulating. People are recreating it. And just like that, a serious, real-world situation gets transformed into a viral trend. And this is where people started speaking out. Academics, commentators, others who follow these kinds of cases closely. And the message was pretty much the same across the board. Does he actually understand what's at stake right now? Because the internet might laugh, the internet might share it, remix it, and turn it into a moment, but the federal government does not operate like that. The feds are not impressed by viral numbers, and they are not known for having a sense of humor.
OG3, along with family and friends, were having a birthday dinner as well. Apparently, J. Prince Jr., who showed up pretty late, had a prior issue with Allstar JR, and they locked eyes instantly. Now, by the way, I'm also going to ad-lib a lot of things I've just heard from both sides. I'll tell you where I heard them from. Based on, I think they may have had some words. You had the 4K trade dudes, they start hopping, dude. They start jumping him, okay? They wanted to confiscate the chain. Apparently, they did confiscate the chain, but they kept trying to, impose a beating on this guy. And some way, somehow, a weapon fell on the ground. From what I'm being told, it's not Allstar JR's weapon. The weapon belongs to a 4K trade member, and it's not Ben 10. That gun was then grabbed by Allstar JR, and he fired a few times. A few times that hit Ron, and then he hit Ben reportedly once. Ironically, and by the luck of the draw, and you gotta say God's grace to some extent, he fires at Ben while Ben's on the ground, and I think he misses him, but I think the bullet ricochets off the ground and kind of hits his neck area, which, if you don't know anatomy, your spinal cord that controls all your movement is in your neck. Well, it runs all the way up to your brain, but that spinal cord is there.
And this.
And this is where things may have taken a serious turn for the worse, because if you were under investigation, possibly facing federal charges, the absolute last thing you want to do is go online and start talking. And the worst version of that? Turning it into content. Because the moment you do that, everything becomes fair game. Everything you say, everything you post, every joke, every reference, every caption, all of it can and will be used against you. The internet has a memory, and so do federal prosecutors. And that's exactly why people are saying this situation didn't just stay bad, it potentially got worse. Not solely because of what allegedly happened, but because of how everything was handled in the aftermath. And on top of that, rumors started surfacing that he was about to do interviews.
He was on his way to California to do an interview with you. Well, he was on his way to do an interview with Vlad TV, and not in California, in Detroit. So we had, in the last couple days, we had talked to Allstar JR. I think you were involved in the process. I was. In terms of booking him to do an interview to talk about the whole situation. So we set a date, we set a time. It was going to be in Detroit. I wasn't going to be there. It was going to be remote. True. Right? So in that case, I tried to do interviews in person, but I don't always get to do it. So in that case, it was going to be a remote interview. So earlier that day, we had a conversation about some of the topics that we're going to cover in the interview. And the conversation wasn't taped. So if the feds want any level of cooperation from me, I'm already not cooperating. I'm going to be pleading the fifth. I always protect my guests. I have a long history of this. If you look at, for example, the QPD situation, Las Vegas PD, trying to get all my raw footage, I refuse.
I wake up,
You got clips of him speaking on it casually.
tagging me, talking about, nigga, you see Ben back? You see Ben back? Well, if so back, tell him to do the Ben 10. I'll double it for him. Talk about, do that, Ben, your dance, get in your groove, nigga, if you back.
And it's like, bro, this is real life. This is not a live stream. Fast forward to now, and the situation has escalated to an entirely different level. Let's talk about the other side of this, because the name Ben 10 keeps coming up throughout all of it. There have been claims circulating, including from Allstar Jr. himself, suggesting that during the incident, jewelry was allegedly taken, and that the whole thing may have stemmed from some kind of altercation or robbery gone wrong. And we are not talking about minor allegations here. We're talking about federal charges. We're talking about serious legal consequences. And once the federal government gets involved, the entire dynamic shifts. It is a completely different game. Reports suggest that after the chains were taken, multiple individuals jumped in, turning the situation into a large, violent confrontation with several people allegedly attacking the victim. And then, moments into that attack, the victim was somehow able to produce a weapon and open fire. This is no longer a local matter. This has gone far beyond that. And this is not something anyone can talk their way out of online. This is real courtrooms, real time, real consequences. Honestly, this whole situation is a textbook example of something we keep seeing play out over and over again. The line between entertainment and reality getting completely blurred. Because online, everything is content. Everything is a punchline. Everything is engineered to go viral. But in real life, the consequences don't care about your view count. They don't care about your comment section. And they are very, very serious. So now the question becomes, did the trolling make this worse? Did going viral actually hurt the legal situation? Or was this always going to end up here, regardless of what happened online? Let me know what you think in the comments, because this one right here is far from over.